Anita Gani, and my goal in setting up this YouTube channel was to just encourage people to be more intentional and live intentional lives. So I am going to be breaking down how you can do that by talking about goals. I did do a goal setting strategy video a couple of weeks ago on how I did my goal setting for the year, and I am just going to continue on from that show per se. I'm just going to talk about how I am keeping myself accountable with my goals for the year in an effort to just share more about being intentional. I believe that we are all on this planet for a reason, and that part of that reason is for us to just lead by example and also just to live a life that is a fulfilling life. And that is what intentional living is all about. And to me, I truly believe setting goals for your life and just going out and achieving those goals is part of that intentional life. We tend to let life happen to us, and that is just how it has been, and that is probably how we think life needs to be. But really and truly, we can be the boss of our own lives, and that requires a lot of deep work to get to that point where you're like, you know what, I can create a life on my terms. It requires a lot of deep work and a lot of self-finding strategies that get you to a point to say, what should my life look like? You have to ask yourself those questions, because at the end of the day, it is your life. And I got there somehow for some miracle. I started asking, is this all there is to life, really? And realized that there is more to life, and I am the only person that can create the life that I want to create. It might sound selfish, but honestly, if you look at most of the successful people that are out there, or people that are really living their life with intention, it is because they did the deep work to figure out what is important for them. So to me, I think a starting point is always setting goals, and the setting goals requires you doing the work, and you set goals based on what you want to achieve, and that requires you doing the work to say, what do I want out of this life of mine? So that's where the goal setting comes in. It's not just a matter of, I want to do this, I want to do that. You have to make it make sense to you or to who you are at that time in your life. So for me, I am a person who is still finding myself, but what I have discovered and what I have said is financial freedom is a very important aspect for me. And with financial freedom, I think what it means to me is just being able to do stuff because I want to, not because I have to. That really is all that financial freedom will mean to me. I might still continue doing the same work that I'm doing, but I just want to be doing it because I want to, not because I have to. And currently I feel like I have to. So that's where my goal setting comes in. So in order to get to a point where I am in a financial situation of doing stuff because I want to, what do I need to do to get there? And that's where the goals come in and the different things come in. And I start from here, look to the future, and then work my way back to where I am right now. So I shared 3 main goals that I am doing this first quarter of the year in that video that I referred to earlier. And those 3 goals were, I wanted to run a half marathon in June. I want to host a retreat in Arusha by end of the year. And my third goal was to launch a YouTube channel. So I've launched the YouTube channel. So I am sharing now I'm sharing strategy on how to keep accountable so that you can achieve those goals. So my YouTube channel goal wasn't just a random goal that I just came up with this year. I've actually had it in the back of my pocket for a while. But I think I let fear lead and I was just overthinking the whole thing. So I never quite got it started. But this year, I decided what is the one thing that I can actually do to get this goal off the ground, and it was just like just start. So just start the YouTube channel. Everything else will fall into place after. So you can see that my YouTube channel is up and running now. I share different aspects about my life because I decided I am not just one thing, I am many things. So I'll be sharing a lot of different things, and one of them was how to strategize and do your goal setting for 2022. So I will occasionally come here and continue sharing about goal setting because I feel like that is a very big element of intentional living, which in the big vision that I have is really the message I'm trying to get across to people is to live an intentional life, which means create the life that you want to live and do the work to get to what you want to be doing, and not just don't let the world tell you what to do. You tell the world what you want to do and do the work to do what you want to do. A lot of to-dos in there, but I hope my message is coming across somehow. So back to the goal setting strategy and being accountable. So my YouTube channel, I am being accountable by coming up here and just doing it scared, doing it messy, and just doing these videos. And I want to be able to look back 6 months from now and say, oh my gosh, look at that first or those first couple of videos. How bad were they? But I truly believe that you get better just by going out there and starting and doing the different things. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing this YouTube video. I know it's messy. I know it's not professional looking, but I am starting just to show you that your goals don't need to be perfected in order for you to get started. So start on the different goals. Start by putting them down on paper. Start by brainstorming. What is it that you want to achieve? What do you want in your life? How do you get started? Start by brainstorming. Start by researching on Google. Start by reaching out to other people. There is so much content out there to help you achieve different goals, and all it really requires is you making the decision and then sticking with it and taking the small steps towards that bigger goal. So that's my first goal, launch a YouTube channel. Here I am, 1 month in. And it's a man, like, I gave myself the first quarter to be like, these are the goals that I really want to work on. My second goal, which is the retreat in Arusha, I have I'm excited to share that it's actually coming together slowly, but I am very committed and I am excited that things are moving in the right direction. I found a venue. I need to confirm this venue, I think by next week. And then also I have penciled in the dates. It'll be in September, like the final week of September. I'll share more on it, but I am planning a 9-day awesome retreat in Arusha in a lovely villa, and it will be full of lovely, lovely activities. We will do safari, meditation, yoga, learning a lot about the culture, great food, just great networking opportunity for like-minded women. And it's things I'm putting into place, and it's another goal that I had. And I've always had it in my mind that I really want to be able to host a retreat somewhere where people can just come and relax and just be present. So that's another goal, and I'm working on it. And I am keeping myself accountable by my husband is my accountability buddy where it comes to that goal. And that's one thing I want to share about goals and goal setting and that kind of thing. If you know that you will talk yourself out of it, it's good to share it with the person that will encourage you, but at the same time push you and remind you what you set your goals about, so that you have that accountability and someone to keep you on track. So accountability is a very important aspect of the goal setting and achieving your goals. will find the hard days where you just want to give up, and just having an accountability buddy keeps you going. So for my retreat, my husband has been that accountability buddy because I shared this dream with him, and he really truly believes that it is something that would benefit a lot of people, just to be able to get away and do something fun. So that's my second goal. And my final goal is the half marathon goal. So I started off in January saying I want to run a half marathon in June. I've identified which half marathon I'm going to run, and it is the Rock and Roll Marathon. It's in June. I haven't quite signed up for it, but I am going to. I actually feel like I might even do a half marathon prior to that June one, just because I started off saying I will just run an hour and just 3 times a week. That was my initial strategy to get into this half marathon. This is me coming up with it without doing the research of looking at how one starts and actually successfully does a half marathon. So I came up with my own strategy. But after the first week in January, I actually went back and said, okay, I want to be successful in this. I know I am not at the point where I can run a half marathon today. That's the reality of it. Some goals are big and they're beyond where you are at a particular time. That doesn't mean you can't achieve them. You just need a good strategy to get there. So for me, I had to step back and say, where am I now? And what do I need to do to get to running a half marathon in 6 months? Google was my friend. I Googled half marathon training. I came up with quite a few, and I'm following one which is beginner to half marathon in a 12-week period. And I am following that. I am modifying it to where I think I need to be, but it gave me the template, or just the background of, what I can do to get to that, running that 13.1 miles in 12-week period, which means I could potentially be able to run a half marathon before the June one that I'm talking about. And that's why I said I could do it before then. So what am I doing is I am running 3 times a week. I am having rest days in between. And the way that it's set up is that the first week I ran 2 miles, had a rest day, another 2.5 miles, had a rest day, then 3 miles. And then the following week, it just varies. I could start with 3 miles, rest day, another 3 miles, rest day, and then go to 3 miles or 4 miles. So the idea is at the end of each week, I'm increasing my mileage by a mile. So like, let's say first week it's 3 miles, second week it's 4 miles, third week it's 5 miles. Fourth week it's six miles, kind of like that, until I get to a point where I am ready to run that 13.1 mile. So far it's working. My longest run has been 6 miles. I am as slow as anything, which is okay. I'm not worried about pacing or any of that stuff. I'm just running as much as I can and sticking to the 3 times a week training schedule just to get to that point. And I am also holding myself accountable by sharing with my fitness group. I have a group of ladies that we keep ourselves accountable with our fitness journey by just sharing what we've done for that day. And the idea is you are keeping yourself accountable. I did share with them that I'm going to run a half marathon and that this is the strategy that I'm using, and they all share. So just by them sharing what they're doing encourages me to get out of the house and actually do my bit to get to my goal. So those are the 3 main goals I'm working on for this first quarter. So this is the first month. I'm sticking with them, and I will be sharing at the end of each month to just let you know where I'm at, and just to show that you can start here but end up where you need to be just by taking the small steps. And one main step that you can take is just setting those goals. It's the end of January, fair enough. We're coming into February. And most people think, oh, it's only the beginning of the year that you set goals. Goals can be set anytime. You can set any goals right now to live the intentional life that you were meant to live. So I am just sharing one strategy of sticking with your goals, and finding accountability buddies is a very important aspect if you're really if you're serious about getting to where you need to be in terms of having an intentional life. So, in summary, I shared my goal setting strategy. I shared that at the beginning of the month. I shared the main focus areas that I will be focusing on for the first quarter of the year. My big goal, my big real goal and vision for this channel is just to encourage people to live more intentionally. And a big aspect of intentional living is setting goals that get you to that intentional life. So for me, my 3 main goals: launch a YouTube channel, which I have done; plan a retreat, which I'm in the process of. I will share more by next month. I will be launching that retreat idea next month, and you will see that I've been working really hard in the background towards that goal. And then the third and final goal is my half marathon training, which I am proud to say I ran my 6 miles on Monday, and today I ran 5 miles. So slowly but surely I'm getting there. I am as slow as heck. I am not really in it about the time. I'm just in it to say I actually did run that half marathon. So by 3 months, I know I'll be able to run 13.1 miles because I'm sticking to a schedule, and I am making sure that I am keeping myself accountable by finding the right people to keep me accountable. So find those accountability buddies, sit down and work on those goals. It's never too late. Even today, you can sit down, find yourself, and identify what goals are important for you, and take the necessary small steps to get you to where you need to be. With all that being said, have a lovely week. As always, this is Fatani Togani, encouraging you all to live an intentional life. Take care.